All right. Thanks everybody for being here for this April installment of the Focus On program. Focus on Meriden-Ozawkie Public Library with our very excited library
Yes.
director, Drew Sams, who's ready to preach to us. And thank you so much for agreeing to be with me, Drew.
Yes.
Would you start us off by just telling us a little bit about yourself? How long you've been at the library, that type of stuff.
Okay. Actually, I had to look back at a lot of stuff. I've almost been here for 10 years. It'll be 10 years in January. Yeah, really cool. So I started when I was,
Congrats.
I think, 22. I turned 23 during it. And I just kind of accidentally walked in on it. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I kind of fell into it. I was in school for teaching, or I wanted to go into teaching, and then I kind of knew Jerry from when I was a child. If you don't know, Jerry Tishner was the director before me, and she was fabulous. So, sorry, I forgot that I'm in my office. But, um, anyway, so then I just kind of fell in love with it and stuck with it, and I started doing some of the children's stuff, and I went into the classrooms, and I was like, yeah, absolutely not. I can handle this for 30 minutes to an hour. Librarianship is for me because you get to see all different ages, and I love that. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I ended up here.
Excellent. I think a lot of us can relate to the fell into
Yeah.
librarianship. So let's talk a little bit about your community uh,
Yeah.
or communities.
Yes. We actually have we serve the city of Meriden, the city of Ozawkie, Ozawkie Township, and Rock Creek Township, so it's about 4,500. We're a district library. So yeah, you'll see as you pointed out, there's about a 12-minute drive to Ozawkie, but we use the township hall a lot. They're really kind to us and allow us to do lots of programming there. Um, and then we're right outside, like we're not far from Topeka at all. We actually get quite a few Topeka patrons. A lot of homeschool families around the area will come here, or just people who live right in North Topeka as well. So yeah, we see a lot of faces. A lot of people don't realize that. They always think that we're just a tiny Meriden library. We're not at all. We're a lot bigger than we look, and hopefully we'll look a lot better here soon in our own building. So that's very exciting. The schools are in Meriden, and that's they used to have some in Ozawkie, and they're bringing a few. They're hopefully building a preschool soon because our community is growing very, very quickly. They have to, or they've been trying to do some um, updates with their school buildings because they're growing out of it as well. Like we're growing out of our library. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think we're still small town, have that small town vibe, and so there's lots of hometown pride. I actually went to school here, grew up here. My family's from Topeka, and I've moved back to Topeka, but I did go to school here, so I do know lots of people in the area still. So
Awesome. So kind of Topeka sounds like is starting to move its
yeah,
base a little bit further north than maybe when you were a kid.
yeah, we see a lot more. For sure, and a lot more going to the school as well.
So you mentioned that you're a district library, which is a little bit different than the cities and township public
Hmm.
libraries. Um, so could you talk a little bit about maybe that and just how else the library operates, like your hours? You've showing some of your lovely staff here in your
Yes.
coordinating sweatshirts. Yeah,
Yes.
give us the ins and details about how everything just kind of functions.
So right now, it's not as, great as we would like because we are working on a new building and our building right now is not fabulous. And obviously, we have different areas we need to serve. Maybe in the future we have more staff. We've talked about that in longer hours, but currently, we're 9 to 6 Monday through Thursday, and then 9 to 5 Friday, 9 to 2 on Saturday. I think that's the same as Holton's. Hours, and we do kind of close to this, like we're a little um we're catching up to their statistics. I'm not gonna lie, I creeped a little bit, so I was like, I'm gonna model a little a little after them. um but we have,
That's smart.
yeah, it's like, I'm just gonna look at everybody else and kinda see what they're doing. But right now we have me, Bailey Burns is my assistant director. Fabulous. You met her. Very loud personality. But that's great. We love it. Everybody loves her. And then we have Kayla's also full time. And then we have a part time Susan, and that's her granddaughter in the picture looking up at her. She's, one of our many library kids that we just keep
Adorable.
with us all the time. Yeah. Um, and so since we're district, our board is a little different too. We don't have term limits, which is interesting. So I do have two board members who've been on the board, uh, our entire building campaign or our building process. So it's been our board. She's now our board president, but she's been on the board since 2013, and so she's seen this through. I have another board member named Heather Williams, and she started right when I did, so almost 10 years. And I think her goal is to stay on and see the building project through, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah.
But I'm very thankful that she's doing that for us and seeing it through. We did, when I start, have a bit of a board turnover, um, which it's nothing against those people whatsoever, the ones that couldn't see things, or there was a lot of personal stuff that came up just all at once, it seemed. So our board is fairly new, but they've been great. Help with our building project, and we got the community development block grant, and all of them were a part of the board as we went through that process, so everybody was there during it. um Other things about our library, so we have a teen as well. She just kind of works here and there. She started as a volunteer, and then we just kept her on, and she's a very sweet girl named Journey. We sometimes hire extra help during summer reading because we get a lot busier in the summer like most libraries, but we do some really big programs, and we need help at um, our family programs for sure, and just in the library because, I mean, I don't know how everybody else's summer reading goes, but ours is nuts, and we do tons of prizes and coins. So we get, like, the library looks like a toy store, and we get flooded with people uh, coming in for prizes. So we'll hire some teens to kind of help with that throughout the summer. Um, but that's great because, the community loves that. They love having their kid a fun library, safe job in the community. Um, and then, so like we talked about, we really Meriden-Ozawkie. Sometimes it is very difficult, I will admit, to serve Ozawkie the way that we'd like to. We struggle to get people to go to stuff there. Um, just numbers are down. I know that, and it's not just an us thing. They had like a pride group, like a community pride group, and they kind of disbanded recently just because they weren't getting people at their events. Um, but I mean, it's not for. I don't know. We just haven't figured it out yet what the issue is. We keep trying though.
Right.
Like our story times, we used to do a story time there in the township hall, and it wasn't. I mean, we get one, two, three kids max, but now Bailey and Susan have worked together to kind of do a amped up wiggle workshop there. And that gets, more like 5 kids is good if they show up there. So we're happy with that.
Right.
And we do still try to go to every event that we can in Ozawkie. And then, like I said, uh, there's a new preschool opening up there. Really, like, the school's working on it. It should be huge. And so we'd like to bring programming to the preschool as well. And we've talked with them about that, and they're more than happy to have us there. Yeah.
Very cool. Sounds like you're continuing to try to refine what will work with your
A lot.
part of your community you serve. If you're ready, let's talk a little bit about, well, the physical space, and that's kind of a two-part answer probably for you because we have the space that you're in now, and then you also have, you mentioned the block grant and
Yeah.
already moving forward with what the future of the library is like. So yeah, tell us about physical space.
Not great. So we're in a strip mall off of K4, not common. And I've been doing lots of research too about the library recently, just because we're going through all this. And I mean, I could go on, like, this poor library the Meriden Library started in the late 1950s. It was destroyed by a tornado. Then it went into the city hall and the roof collapsed. And then Jerry started in 2003, did a bunch of work to the downtown building, and then had to move it to the strip mall where it's at today because of conditions in the building. So really that's where she started with the whole building project. She wanted the taxpayers to have their own building, obviously, and it's a place that actually fits our needs. And then she, I mean, throughout her time really grew. I mean, she made it a district library in 2013. And so like, it went from, we were looking at pictures of a 2013 summer reading and like 30 kids at our program to now we can get up like close to 200 people show up. So it's insane how much she did in that amount of time. And then yeah, the other fun thing is too she had quite a few challenges in her time, like the drive-through library when somebody ran their car through
Oh boy.
the building there. That was a fun one. So
So
it's
even
had
this
its
space is not immune to the
no, it's not
catastrophe.
immune to it. Not at all. So the strip mall space is not ideal, obviously. While I was here, we added 2 rooms to the side of me. Like, I'm in an office right now behind the circ desk, and you have to walk through the circ desk area to get to. I mean, there's another doorway that opens, but you have to walk through here to get to the other 2 rooms, which are like our flex story time room. We'll use it for programming, and then a meeting room. And even both of those spaces are not big enough. Most of the time, we use those spaces at the same time and have to like split people in half, which is once again not ideal. Um, and even when we do programs, if it's especially if it's an adult program, we run out of space quick. We partner with Woolly Farms and they have different like diverse needs. So it's not great like for ADA requirements either. So we're really looking forward to being ADA accessible. Um, and then we're running out of like we constantly have to weed aggressively, which I mean isn't I mean it's good to weed, but not as aggressively if we as we have to in certain areas. And our storage space, like our landlord renter, he lets us use some areas that are not what we're paying for, but we probably drive people nuts that share the space with. Oh, this poor flooring company next to us, the things that they hear. I feel so sorry for them in the summer. We go bring them snacks because we're like, we use our um flex room as the programming room, and they're 10-year-olds, 8, 9, 10, 12. They're obnoxious. So this poor company probably cannot get a single thing done. They have to hate us. I'm sorry. Kind of want to ask them if they want to give us some flooring. They probably would just to get rid of us. Um, but yeah, so it is not ideal at all. So we have been working. Uh, I mean, like I said, I've been working on it for my time here or helping with it, but Jerry's really been um, the champion behind it for the last 20 years to get this going. So she, like during her time, raised over $600,000. So we've matched the grant. But I mean, it's actually really cool. Our Susan that's on staff now, she used to be on the board like 10, 15 years ago or something. She remembers doing little fundraisers like making calendars for sale and still talking about the building then. So it's kind of interesting to hear her perspective as well. But yeah, so we're
Yeah,
working on
building
some new
projects
buildings.
can take a long time. That's for
Yeah.
sure. This isn't the only library that I've been going to since 2011 that you see the
Hmm.
incremental upgrades. But you did get this block grant, and you got the full amount block grant, and it was basically a match to what you
Hmm.
had, right?
Yes. So we should have the funds for this is our phase 1 that we're doing. So we have the funds for this. Even this is a question that I'm prepped for too when we do our town hall coming up. It has been padded for inflation, so we will be able to afford this phase. Our dream was to have a community room attached to it because Meriden does not have that. Ozawkie does. Ozawkie has that township center. Meriden has nothing. We have not the greatest little party room next to the Gambinos, but people usually don't want to rent it due to conditions. But that's I'll just digress. Um, so yes, so that's we've kind of dialed that back to phase two. We're hoping that if we get some donations through the community, we'll be able to get it done. That's the dream. But the reality is, this is where we're at for sure. And so we really and this is subject to change. Obviously, things are going to change as we move forward in the next. Woo woo. Oh yeah, that was one thing I heard from Jerry and other libraries. Staff bathroom. That's what we heard from everyone we've talked to. Make sure you have a staff bathroom. She was very adamant about that, and yes, we're happy about that. Actually, you told us that, Heather. So,
I've heard that
um,
from other library directors too, who got one
yeah,
later, and they're like, I don't know how we went this long without it, but if you, and they had the same sentiment. If you can,
get it.
definitely
Yes.
get it.
Yes, so we're very happy with this setup so far. Like I said, it might change here and there, but we'll have our activity room, like that same flex space, and this time we'll have study rooms too available. And this is so our building space now, our building space, um, we're like a little over 3,000 some square feet. This is 5,000, so it's not like significantly larger, but it's gonna feel a lot larger to us, and we're not gonna be like anytime we do a program, we sadly have to rearrange furniture constantly. Uh, I mean, like we try to do a class in December out in the library portion, and I mean, it was just a nightmare. Like we were literally moving shelves beforehand. So it's gonna feel a lot better just to have some extra space. And then, I'm sure in no time we'll feel like we have no space once again. But you know what? I'm happy with this. um, but yes, we're excited about the study rooms too because we're a loud group, and that's our especially in the summer it gets a little rowdy in here. Like I said, we try to send them, invite them in the other room. um, but honestly, a lot of people in the community enjoy it. That we're just kind of lax about that, and when you come in, we're gonna say, "Hey, have a conversation," blah blah blah. But I also know, um, we do need those quiet areas. That's what our meeting room it comes in handy for right now. But people don't see it because our building makes no sense. It is a maze. Um, but yeah, and we're excited to have our own
I
land
was
too.
gonna say maze. That's
Yes,
a really good word to describe it.
yeah. I know people really do get lost. Like I have to direct them when they get out of the meeting room because they'll go the wrong way. Like they forget where they're at. It makes no sense. um, but we are excited to have our own land too. Our parking lot is gorgeous out here. No, people complain about it constantly. It's falling apart. Um, Outside is disgusting too. We have no grass. So I'm really I like outdoors, so I'm excited to see the outdoors in the new place. And our land, we chose the location. We got the land back in 2019, and ultimately we decided on it because we kind of went back and forth. We were really hesitant to figure out where to put it because we're Meriden and Ozawkie, but most people are on their way to Topeka. And then we chose that area, so it's right. I mean, it's really not far at all, not even a mile, maybe, from us now off of K4, but it's in the city of Meriden or right kind of outside of it. But it's located by the schools, so that's ultimately what decided it for us. And they had just used the community development block grant to get sidewalks for the city, and so the children will be able to access the library safely after school with sidewalks. I mean, it'll just be a lot more accessible for people, and we figured with it just being right off the highway, that would be easier for people um, instead of having to come up here or anywhere. We definitely did not want to go into the city of Meriden. But yeah, so we do have it's pretty on one side. One side's ugly, one side's a gas station, but the other side's a pretty little fire station.
Well, that's really exciting to have that green space to
Yes.
offer people, and for you and your staff
Yes.
to enjoy too. All right, so we've talked a little bit about where we're at with physical space, and we've given people an idea about what you'll be seeing in the future. Just a follow-up question: the phase two, does that go off of the top of the picture here in theory?
No, so it's actually going to be the front of the building would be the vestibule area, and then
Yeah.
phase 2 would be connected to that corridor, um, by the study rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where we like it ideally, and then in the phase 2 plan, we also would like a meeting room attached to it, like a smaller one that people could rent out or use, um, or just use the community room for their own events, and we would hopefully be able to have our own summer reading events in it. Because right now we have to go to the, local Methodist church in town to use their gym to host our programs.
So that's a good segue because our next prompt
Yes.
here is about programs and services. So yeah, what can you tell us? Even though if it doesn't always happen at the library, it's sponsored by the library, put on by the library. Yeah, tell us about, because I know you do a ton of programs and
Yeah.
services too that you might want to mention.
Yeah, so that tall picture with everybody, that's from last year. That's actually in Ozawkie, and we brought a summer reading program to Ozawkie. Um, we did not know how it was gonna go because, like I said, sometimes we bring stuff to Ozawkie and no one shows up. Everyone showed up to this one. That was 153 people in that room. Um, and that was the Atlas. I think some libraries have had them out. Atlas Education. They do like different reptile snakes and stuff. It's right next to us. They're in the strip mall as well. So
Wow,
we,
your
yeah,
neighbors.
yeah, we're kind of afraid that maybe snakes would come through the ceiling. Not happy about it, but so far so good. Uh, but yes, so that was one of our big programs. Um, and we usually do like 5 to I we'll go through June. I think everybody kind of knows in summer by July people they're going on trips. They're doing ball. So we've stopped killing ourselves. Yeah, we'll do our big ones and then in the summertime we also do STEM programs, teen programs. We'll have some jazzed up story times that we'll do. And that's another thing that we've run into. I think this year we're going to try something. I think everybody can agree with this that uh, every year you have to try new things. It doesn't matter if it was fabulous the year before, the next year it might be you'll do the same thing and it's terrible. So, we're just always evolving. But this year for story times, we're just gonna do first come, first serve. We actually can hit like we'll get like 50 people that just show up for a story time in the summer. And we don't fit in that little room because you'll see in the other picture that's our meeting room, and right next to it's the story time room, which is about the same size. I've about taken some kids out before with my niece. It gets so crowded. It's like, so it's not safe at all. Like we're gonna have to move some people out. In the past we've tried signups, but signups deter people, so then you get 7 people showing up. So yeah, once again, we're just testing things out. Some of our other programs that we do, that one in the picture, Bailey, my assistant director, started an after school club. She, once again, shout out to Heather from Carbondale. She stole this idea from Heather and kind of talked with her about it. She got really into her tween after school program, so that's what she kind of modeled it after. And we have a fabulous volunteer named Kim Tinnell, and she just loves to craft. She's actually done some adult classes for us, um, and she's amazing. She comes up with these ideas, works with Bailey, and we kind of work with we have a on the other side of the strip mall there's a dance studio and the dance kids will come over and do some crafts and whatnot. um some of our other programs during the year, like I'd mentioned, Kim helped us with some adult ones, some craft ones, and we'd like to do some more of those. um a lot of our I found that our best programs are ones that we almost do as a joke, like, or it starts off as like a crazy idea. Because I think we're just having fun with it, so that's what makes it like successful. Uh, because we've done some really silly things. Like last summer, we did rat roller coasters, where we just built rat-sized roller coasters, and it's just because I like to keep up with the rat situation in New York and Chicago, and there was a mom in here too talking about it. She knew exactly what I was talking about. She's the one who brought it up. And I was like, that's exactly why we're doing this. um, so, but it was fun. The kids loved it. They were really into it. We'll do paint and sip stuff, obviously non-alcoholic, but we've done it with teens before. and they had such a blast. We let them like we made a juice bar and they got to go order it. And it was honestly it was probably more fun for us. They had a blast, but we had more fun. Um and then this last year, yeah, Bailey and I get out of hand sometimes. Sometimes it's really dangerous. Would she give me we have a prop book where we write down our crazy ideas and then we have to sit on it for at least a day or so that we don't do something crazy. But this last Christmas, we did something crazy. It didn't even get in the book. We decided to make the library into a maze in the two rooms, but we had a blast with it and people loved it. We turned the story time room and the meeting room just into a giant, it was a Pete the Cat theme story walk that they got to go through. And we had, I mean, it was a lot of work, but we had a great time putting it together. And then our husbands came and did it too, and they were like mad at first, and then they took over, and we were like, okay, you guys can quit decorating now. Like, it's good.
So I just want to make sure I got this right. So I think a lot of people maybe have problems like making their ideas like going crazy and having as big ideas as they, can possibly do. But it sounds like you guys then like to think real big and then sit on it
Yeah.
for a while and just make sure that it's not too extreme. Is that the time
Yeah,
you wait just to see if
that's the goal.
how you still
But
feel about it?
it doesn't always go that well. Poor Kayla that works with us, honestly, she's so tired of our crap all the time. She's like, "Why? What are you doing? Why this now?" But you know what? She joins in on the fun. Like I said, we have a really good staff, so we all have fun with it. And um,
Well,
like I said, yeah,
it
the
sounds like
goal is
to
to
me
not be
from just
crazy.
reading Facebook comments that your patrons see that as well, and they enjoy that aspect of the library. It's a fun place to be. We don't have a whole lot
Yeah,
of time left, Drew, but I think you were going to mention a little bit about partnerships and maybe the events that coincide because of partnerships.
yeah. Um, we have two really big partner, or we like to partner with the school a lot. That's one of our biggest partners, especially the elementary school. Shout out, love the elementary school. Principal's awesome. He wrote a little thing for our grant actually, so thank you, sir. So we'll visit with them often, but then another one of our big partnerships is Woolly Farms is a foundation for adults with different diverse needs. And so a lot of them work in the community as well. They learn life skills, job skills. So we employ two, I mean, they're not getting paid, but we employ two members from Wooly. That's Kirsten. Mike's actually met Kirsten. She'll talk your ear off. Yeah, if you meet Kirsten, you're gonna remember her, and she remembers every little thing about you. So honestly, the library is great for her because she remembers every single patron, and she remembers everything about them and talks to everyone when they walk in. Sometimes it's a little too much and we have to dial her back, but she's great. And then we have Madison, who just started. She's the complete opposite, but you know what? She's the other side of the library where she gets to do the quiet work, just put some stuff up, just enjoy the relaxation part of it. But we really enjoy the staff at Wooly, and their director is partnered with us, and will come in for books just like every month or so. So then we're like, well, let's work together. And we've done some programs with them that we've actually done the paint and sip with them this last. We did it for Valentine's Day. They were hilarious the whole time. We got to be the wait staff for them, and they were really into it. And uh, they're honestly a blast. It's a lot sometimes, but you get some laughs out of it. They're a good group, so they've been really fun, and we obviously enjoy Kirsten and Madison with us. And then our other partnerships are, as I was saying before, when we had Ozawkie, their community pride, we'd work with them, and Meriden also has an event, the event group that we try to go to as many community events as possible. But yeah, I think
Great.
that's all.
Well, Drew, thanks so much for sharing more about it. It's really just as somebody who's visited the library for 14 years at this point.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear about your future and having these funds and this space and the blueprint. It's all feeling pretty real, and it was so nice for you to honor Jerry for all the work that she did, because we do know that
Yes.
she was really you know, incremental to getting all of that done, all those steps. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I hope you
Thank
enjoyed
you.
learning a little bit more about Drew and her community and library. Well, hopefully you can join us again on a future month. So
Yeah.
we'll
Thanks,
see you
everyone.
around.